It was a rainy Friday evening, and I was home alone. My parents had gone out of town for the weekend, leaving me to take care of the house. I was looking forward to a quiet night of movies and snacks, hoping the storm outside would add to the cozy atmosphere. The house felt unusually large and empty without anyone else around. As the rain pattered against the windows, I settled into the living room, wrapping myself in a warm blanket. The dim light of the TV flickered, casting shadows on the walls, but I didn't mind. It was just me and my favorite horror movies. About halfway through the first movie, I heard a faint noise coming from upstairs. I paused the film, listening intently. The sound was barely audible over the rain, but it sounded like footsteps. My heart skipped a beat. The house was old and had its creaks, but these footsteps were deliberate. I tried to shake off the unease, convincing myself it was just the house settling. I turned the movie back on, but my eyes kept darting to the dark hallway leading to the stairs. As the night wore on, the noises became more frequent. It started with the footsteps, then doors creaking open and closing on their own. I checked all the windows and doors, making sure they were locked. Every room was empty, but the feeling of being watched was growing stronger. Around midnight, I decided to go to bed, hoping sleep would come quickly. As I lay in bed, the house seemed to grow colder. The rain outside intensified, and the wind howled through the trees, making the house groan. I pulled the covers up to my chin, trying to ignore the fear creeping into my mind. I must have dozed off, because I was jolted awake by a loud thud. My heart raced as I sat up, straining to hear over the storm. The thud came again, this time from the hallway outside my bedroom. I grabbed my phone, using its flashlight as I cautiously opened my bedroom door. The hallway was empty, but the door to the attic, which was always shut, was now ajar. My parents always kept it locked because the attic was filled with old, forgotten items and was unsafe. Summoning all my courage, I approached the attic door, my flashlight trembling in my hand. As I peered into the attic, the light revealed old furniture covered in dust and cobwebs. The air was heavy and cold. I was about to close the door when I heard a whisper, soft and indistinct, but definitely a voice. "Leave." The voice sent chills down my spine. I stepped back, slamming the attic door shut. I ran back to my bedroom, locking the door behind me. The whispering continued, now louder and more urgent. I could hear footsteps again. This time right outside my bedroom door. Panic set in. I grabbed my phone and dialed my parents, but there was no signal. Desperate, I texted a friend, hoping they would come to my rescue. The footsteps stopped suddenly, replaced by a low, menacing growl. Summoning all my courage, I decided to make a run for it. I grabbed my keys and bolted out of the bedroom, down the stairs, and out the front door. I didn't stop running until I reached the safety of my car. As I sped away, I glanced back at the house and saw a shadowy figure standing in the attic window, watching me leave. I spent the rest of the weekend at my friend's house, too terrified to return home alone. When my parents came back, I told them everything. They were skeptical but agreed to check the attic. They found nothing unusual, but I couldn't shake the feeling of that sinister presence. To this day, I can still hear the whispering when I close my eyes, and the memory of the shadowy figure haunts my dreams. I never stay home alone anymore, and I avoid the attic at all costs. The house, once a place of comfort, now feels like a prison, holding a dark secret I may never fully understand. I was home alone on a stormy Saturday night. My parents had gone to visit my grandmother, leaving me to watch the house. The rain pounded against the windows, and the wind howled through the trees, making the old house creak and groan. I didn't mind. I liked the feeling of solitude and the opportunity to relax without interruptions. The evening started off peacefully. I made some popcorn, grabbed a soda, and settled into the living room to watch a horror movie marathon. The flickering light from the TV cast eerie shadows on the walls, but I found it comforting rather than frightening. After all, it was just me in the house. Halfway through the first movie, I heard a strange noise coming from upstairs. It was faint, like the sound of something heavy being dragged across the floor. I paused the movie and listened, my heart beginning to race. The noise stopped as suddenly as it had started. I told myself it was just the house settling. An old place like this was bound to make some weird noises. Trying to shake off my unease, I resumed the movie, but the atmosphere had changed. Every creak and groan of the house seemed amplified, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. The rain intensified, and the wind picked up, making the house feel colder and more menacing. Around midnight, I decided to go to bed. I turned off the TV and headed upstairs, feeling a chill run down my spine as I passed the darkened rooms. I closed my bedroom door, locking it out of habit, and climbed into bed, hoping sleep would come quickly. But just as I was starting to drift off, I heard the noise again. This time, it was louder and closer, like it was right outside my door. I sat up, my heart pounding in my chest. The noise continued, a rhythmic thumping that seemed to echo through the house. I grabbed my phone and used its flashlight, my hands shaking as I approached the door. Taking a deep breath, I unlocked and opened it, shining the light into the hallway. There was nothing there, just an empty corridor stretching out before me. I stepped out cautiously, scanning the area with my flashlight. The thumping had stopped, replaced by an eerie silence that was almost worse. I decided to check the rest of the house, starting with the attic, where the noise seemed to be coming from. The attic door was slightly ajar, which was odd since it was always kept shut. I pushed it open, the hinges squeaking loudly, and climbed the narrow staircase. The attic was filled with old furniture and boxes, covered in dust and cobwebs. As I shone my flashlight around, I noticed something strange, a large, antique mirror standing in the corner, covered by a sheet. I hesitated, but curiosity got the better of me. I approached the mirror and pulled the sheet off, revealing a tall, ornate frame and a cracked surface. In the dim light, my reflection looked distorted and eerie. I was about to turn away when I saw something that made my blood run cold, its eyes glowing a sinister red. I spun around, but there was nothing there. When I looked back at the mirror, the figure was gone. Trembling, I backed away, nearly tripping over a box. As I reached the attic door, I heard a low, guttural growl. Panic set in, and I fled down the stairs, slamming the attic door behind me. I ran to my room and locked the door, my heart racing. I grabbed my phone and dialed my parents, but there was no signal. Desperate, I texted my best friend, hoping they would come to my rescue. The thumping started again, this time louder and more aggressive. It was coming from the attic, but it sounded like it was getting closer. I could hear the growl again, now accompanied by a sinister whispering. The door to my room shook as if something was trying to force its way in. I knew I had to get out. I grabbed my keys and bolted from my room, sprinting down the stairs and out the front door. As I drove away, I glanced back at the house and saw the shadowy figure standing in the window watching me with those glowing red eyes. I never went back to the house alone. My parents didn't believe my story, attributing it to an overactive imagination. But I knew what I had seen and heard. The house, once a place of comfort, was now a source of nightmares. The man in the mirror haunted my dreams, a constant reminder of the terror that lurked within those walls. Even now, I can still feel his eyes on me, watching, waiting.